Hi, everyone. This is Ray Kidd. I'm the league director and owner of TC Flag Football. I've got Drew Badala. How the F do you say your last name, dude? I always
It's
chop
Andrew.
it up.
It's Andrew Baydala. I'm happy to be here. That is Ray. We got Jimmy, Chris, Jack, Rome, Wallace, Cherry, Sell, and a captain who's not here currently, Tristan. This is the Build the Beast draft tournament. We're going to get Lamar, who's part of the board, in on this stream. He is going to describe how this all came about. But before we do all that, Raymond, how are you?
I'm doing good. How about you?
I'm all right. I'm all right. It's a Wednesday night. Normally, my obligations are professional wrestling and sports entertainment, but I'm here with everybody tonight. So let's get this done. I'm excited for this. This is a unique draft, something that's never been done before here, I believe, in the Twin Cities, at least to my recollection. And I would have loved to have partaken in this, but really looking forward to see how this shakes out. With that, I'm going to bring in Lamar if he's here. Lamar, no? All right, we'll wait on Lamar. While I do that, who has the number one pick?
I do.
Cherry does. All right, Cherry, I'm not going to ask, to give me your pick right now, but what's your strategy when it comes to this type of thing? Have you ever played in one of these?
Not like this. No, this is
Okay.
new to me. I played a few drafts. I've won, I think, the last 3 I've been in, so it's no big deal.
Yeah, I mean, listen, we've played in a bunch of drafts. This is a little different though. The stealing of the players is very interesting.
Yeah, I think you can take it kind of either way too. I mean, if you want to pick a softer team right away and then hope you win to steal the people you want, or you try to build a team for the championship and then hope that can take you far enough in the non-cons, because that's what's really going to be different.
And the biggest thing that I presented when we were talking about this, which was interesting to me, again, as we wait on the man who kind of got this all together, Lamar, was if you draft a team and it's a really good team, and then you got to add somebody, are you going to pick a really good player? And then what happens? You're going to have to sit somebody who helped you win a couple games, or how's that going to work out? Because as well as I do, this league is full of egos. So what's going to happen with that?
Yeah, just a few egos,
Just
a couple. 1 or 2.
Just a couple.
Chris.
There's a lot of strategy in this, so we'll have to wait and see. I hope you have your pick lined up. I'm sure you do.
I think I know.
All right.
Yeah.
He thinks he knows. All right. Ray, should we start the clock? Should we get this going? Then we could bring Lamar in maybe after the first round.
Yeah, I think so. He's having a little bit of technical difficulty, so we're going to go ahead and bring him back in a little bit later on.
All right, Cherry, you can go right ahead. You're going to type your pick into the studio chat, and then we'll let Raymond announce it, and then we'll go to the next one, or vice versa. I can announce it however you want to do it. All right, the pick is in.
Well, I mean, that's not surprising. Lamar.
All right, Cherry, real quick, maybe like 10, 15 seconds. Obviously, one of the most versatile players in the league. But you need a quarterback, sir. Is he going to play quarterback?
We'll see what happens. We got some options here. Yeah, we went with Lamar. I know Lamar played with Mar a lot. It's between him and DJ, obviously. I think Lamar's great at strategy, so I'm going that route.
Lamar's a very, very good football mind. The last draft tournament we had, I was on DJ's team and we won it. DJ is another versatile player who is a hell of a teammate. So either way, you would have won. So good pick there. I believe Mike Wallace is on the clock, correct?
Yes.
Mike, you can go ahead and type in your pick whenever you are ready. Raymond, are you shocked at the number one pick? I'm not. 1 and 2, the pick is in. 1 and 2 don't surprise me at all.
No, they don't surprise me one bit. And at pick number 2, we're at DJ.
Mike, you played against DJ's squad in the last draft tournament, and DJ he's not only a good teammate, he's a great quarterback and a great player overall. But strategy here, you going quarterback out the gate for a reason? I don't know if it's me, but I can't hear him.
I think Mike's a little quiet there.
Okay.
Can you hear me?
I can hear you now. Go ahead.
All right, sounds good. I think for me, I would just make that's a favorite player. A lot of quarterbacks in the draft. And to get DJ, who's so versatile, it makes sense with, just scheme wise. Like you said, this game is going to be It's non-con first, and then you're trying to make it contact. So I would just try the best available, non-con there.
Yeah, and with you and D, and you have Cherry and Lamar, those are really good defensive pieces as well as offensive pieces. So first picks do not surprise me. Raymond, who is up next? Thank you, Mike.
On the clock, we've got Chris.
Okay, Chris, whenever you want to type in your pick. And then Ray, if you just want to chat me when Lamar is ready, we'll bring him in and he can kind of discuss at the end of the round if we get him. If not,
Yeah, we're going to bring him in after Tristan's pick. So the pick is in, and Chris has went with Dace.
All right, Chris. Dace, obviously somebody who will absolutely lay the body on defense. He's a very good football player, good mind too. You're probably going to play quarterback. That's an assumption. Why Dace here?
Well, Dace brings a lot of experience overall. So it kind of going back to what you said, he brings a lot of grit. He brings a lot of defense. He brings some other strategy that people don't always hear, but he's very vocal with his teammates. So I wanted to bring some of that grit to the team. We'll see about me playing quarterback. It just kind of depends on how things roll. But, I mean, the hope is there. But I have a couple ideas if it pans out that way.
Chris is never going to show you his cards. Smart man. All right, Chris. Thank you very much. Raymond, who's up next?
We've got Jack.
All right, Jack. I want to see which one of these number one teams, like pick-wise, the number one picks, loses their number one pick. That'll be very interesting. Very, very interesting.
Yeah, I think that might come in the second half of this draft when it comes down to the scheduling aspect, your matchups, and how that rolls in. And our pick is in with Jack, and he's going to go with Russo.
Jack, good pick. Russo is an absolute dog, in my opinion, both sides of the ball. So I understood why you took him. I don't have much to say about Jared. He's just a really, really good football player. And he'll give you everything he's got, and he can absolutely play quarterback too, which I know a lot of people probably know now, but when I first played against him, I thought he was just a lineman until I saw him throw the fall. And I was like, holy shit. So Russo can play. So good pick there, Jack.
Good.
All right, we're going to go to Rome.
This one, I'm kind of not surprised. These two have played together for a very long time as part of the game time trio, what have you. And Rome has selected Sean Dietrich.
Rome, Sean is a very good player on, again, both sides of the ball. Obviously, you got your quarterback, I would assume. Is that the strategy here? No Rome.
Hang on. Let me, where'd he go? I guess that's how you do it. You just draft and go.
Right.
So I will say when you're doing it more mobile, if you hit the wrong button because they're right by each other, that kicks you out very easily. So that might be part of it too.
All right. Well, we'll go back to Rome because I have a funny feeling that's exactly why you picked Sean. He could be corner, he could play middle, and he could play quarterback. Rome, you're back. I'm going to guess Sean is your quarterback, correct?
My bad. I lost it. Yeah. We'll see. But yeah, that's the plan for right now.
We'll see, but yeah. All right. I like it. Thanks, Rome.
Yeah.
All right. Who's up,
All right.
Ray?
We got Mr. David Sill on the clock.
Okay. Okay.
All right. Little interesting pick. He goes with Kwame.
So, Sel, I like Kwame, another great football mind, and is not afraid to voice his opinion if you let him, which is something everybody should do because he does have a great football mind. Stel, I'm going to assume you're playing quarterback, so I like this pick. Why Kwame?
I don't know if I'm playing quarterback. I think I can more on the non-contact, but somebody to lead the defense and really fast on the offense, just speed for the non-contact.
There you go.
Yeah.
Yeah, there you go. And no one's going to tell you they're playing quarterback, which is smart, but I'll get it out of somebody before the draft is over. Tristan is up, and he's made his picks. Go ahead, Ray.
No. Unfortunately, Tristan's not the guy.
Oh.
Jimmy is on the clock, and Tristan kind of gave away who he's going for.
Well, you know what? I'll tell you something about Jimmy. I don't think that's going to sway his picks.
It's not going to sway my picks, but...
Well, there's one.
Oh, the chat kills them. So for everybody who didn't know, Jimmy's picked Mendez, and Tristan had turned around and typed in Mendez a little too soon.
All right, Jimmy. I like Mendez. Great defensive player, in my opinion, can shut people down. We'll have to wait and see what happens with your quarterback situation, but it seems like there's a bunch of people who don't know what they're doing yet. So they say, so we'll have to wait and see. Tristan is now on the clock.
All right. So I'm going to guess that Tristan's going with the second name he gave me first, and that would be Kyle Hargrave.
Nope. I think he went with somebody else, right?
No, he said Mendez and then Kyle Hargrave.
Kyle. Yep.
Okay.
Kyle.
All right. Thank you, Tristan. And then he goes back to back, correct?
Correct.
Yep, but before we go back to back, we turned around and had a special offer going out for registration for this event. It was the 4 on the 4th, and we're going to go ahead and do one of those drawings right now. So we've got everybody who entered in, and it's basically everybody who submitted registration before the 4th, and then obviously ran the promo from the 4th to the 6th, and this is everyone who got in until the 6th of July. So I'm just going to do one quick spin, and the winner will get free registration to either Fall League for either Blaine or West St. Paul Dome, or they can elect to do Winter League for Fall or for West St. Paul or Blaine. And it's just for individual registration, so it's 1/14 of the value of a team registration. So here we go. Interesting enough, this guy got a lot of razz from Minority Report this morning, but Brian Wright, congratulations. You are the winner for free registration. So we'll get you a promo code sent out to you, and we'll get you taken care of.
There you go. Congratulations, Brian. If it's free, it's for me. So there you go. Everybody loves a little free. All right. So we are headed to the second round, and I believe Tristan is back on the clock, and his pick is in.
Well, hang on. We're going to do one more thing here. I think we're
All right.
going to try to get Lamar in here. So
All
give
right.
me one moment.
Sure.
Whoa. My screen changed around here. I thought I saw Lamar jump on here for a second. Give me one moment here. Well, we'll leave the space open here, and we'll see if Lamar jumps on. We'll go ahead and we'll mention Tristan's next pick. Tristan's next pick is Elijah Jones.
All right, Tristan. Why don't you explain your two picks here? Obviously, you went with Kyle and you went with Elijah. So explain why you went both of them. Go ahead.
Two dogs that can play defense, and I know what they can do offensively. And Elijah, I know very well. He's my teammate. So
Good pick. Both good picks. Again, I question who your quarterback's going to be, but we'll have to wait and see, right? You. Oh, boy. Okay. Well, God bless. Good luck.
All right. So next up on the board here would be going back to Jimmy.
Okay, there you go. Jimmy's pick is in.
All right. It's Milo.
All right, Jimmy. Play with Milo. Really good football player. Why'd you pick him here, especially with your first pick?
Well, it's the second pick.
With your first pick before that, you have.
Yeah, with Mendez. So it's just a good rapport with some good guys I played with, and defense wins championships, so focus there.
Okay. All right, now we are back to sell.
All right. And it looks like we've got Sailor in as the pick.
All right. I see Lamar in here now. I do not see Sell. So we're going to go to the next pick. We'll try and get through the rest of this round. And then Lamar, can you hear us? All right. Well, we'll go to whoever is next. Let them get their pick in, and then we'll try Lamar again.
So that would be Jerome Johnson on the clock. And Rome's going to go with the impossible but incredible Kyle Johnson.
Okay. Rome has a couple options now at quarterback. I'm going to lean Sean, but that's Rome's decision. Obviously, two familiar players for Rome. I like the pick. Kyle's a very good football mind and a very good football player on both sides of the ball, in my opinion. And we will go to Jack and then back to Chris.
Jack has selected Nathan Thomas.
Okay. Jack, I'll ask you real quick. Why Nathan? Why here?
I think early in the when we got 4-4 and 5-5, you just want as many skill position players as you can. Nathan's a great player on both sides of the ball. So looking forward to getting a chance to play with him.
All right. Perfectly said. Thank you. We'll go to Chris. We'll get the rest of these picks in, and then Lamar at the end of this round. We will come to you for a quick overview of how this got started.
Chris has gone with Griff Christensen.
All right. I believe who's up next?
It is Mike Wallace.
Okay. Wallace, you are on the clock.
The pick is in, and Mike Wallace has selected KT Turner.
All right. KT Turner.
To close out the second round, David Cherry is up on the clock.
All right, yeah. With the first one, I'm going to put in the chat. Didn't mean to say that loud.
Say what you think. And the pick is in, and it's Trey Swartz.
All right. Well, that concludes round two. Some names, obviously, I thought were going to come off the board in round one that did. I'm not the captains, but I have some questions at quarterback, and I think that's a vital position for some people. So we'll have to wait and see what people do. Ray, what did you think of the first two rounds?
First round was pretty predictable, at least for the first three picks or so. There's some names out there that I'm seeing that's kind of gone off a little bit earlier than what I anticipated. And I think there's some gems that are still out there. So this third and fourth round is going to certainly be interesting. And I think this is where the money's made for those who are going to either win or lose. And I think these are the picks that are going to, decide whether or not you make it past that 4-on-4 and the 5-on-5 non-contact.
I would agree. I think it doesn't matter what league you're in, both fantasy or actually drafting football players here. Your money rounds are going to be your later rounds that will determine whether or not you end up winning at the end. We will go to Lamar right after this. Looking for one last run before summer wraps up. Our TC Flag Football Summer League is taking over the field Thursday nights in Blaine. High energy 6 versus 6 action, and spots are filling fast. Whether you're building a squad or signing up solo, this is your time to shine. Register now at tcflagfootball.com and make this summer legendary. Registration has been extended and will close on July 16th, which is just 7 days away. Make sure you guys get in. All right, Lamar. Now that I'm done with the promo read here, why don't you talk about how this all came about, truthfully, because it was a very interesting concept. Where did you first learn about it, and why did you think it would work here in Minnesota, this league?
Yeah, for sure. Can you guys hear me okay?
Yes, I can.
Yeah, so it was just kind of an idea that I was talking with JT about a while back. We're just kind of talking about how versatile a lot of these guys that play flag football are and how different it is from tackle. And yeah, I just kind of came up with an idea. I'd be like, hey, it'd be cool if we could do a tournament where you had to show how versatile you were. And the most versatile people would be the most valuable. So we're like, how can we do this? And we're like, well, should we travel? We play all these different formats. What if we just did a tournament where we had to play multiple formats? And then it just kind of clicked and was like, that would be a dope idea. We'd get a lot of participation from some guys that may play non-contact and don't typically play contact. Kind of get everybody together under one umbrella.
So is this your brainchild, you and JT's brainchild from head to toe, or have you picked this up somewhere?
No, we kind of just came up with it and then just kind of bounce it off other people. We talked to Garrett about it. We talked to Sean about it. There's a few other people that were like, yeah, the idea sounds dope. You could do it this way. You could add this in. And then we kind of just put it all together and presented the idea to you guys in the group. And it sounded like a great idea. So we brought it to life.
There you go. A couple cocktails at Applebee's, and here we are.
That's all it was.
Good job. All right. Thank you, Lamar. Great idea. Absolutely. I think the tournament's going to be a smash. I wish I was there for it. I have some questions here, but we'll get to the later rounds and then we'll see what happens. So,
sounds good, guys. Thanks for having me.
Thanks, Lamar. All right, Lamar. Raymond, let's jump into round 3 here. And I believe Cherry is up. Hope we bought you enough time. Okay.
Just enough, I think.
10 seconds on the clock.
Whoa.
All right, the pick is in.
All right. And just like that, Cherry's pick is in, and he's going to go with our big man, Malik Holmes.
All right. Cherry, you have 3 players, including yourself. As we look at your roster, what are you gunning for here? Like, what's the strategy?
Honestly, I think we're shooting for athletes. Okay. I'm looking to win 4s and 5s non-con. We've played it here, out of town. So just trying to get the athletes in there and then stealing people as we win.
It's a good plan. I think speed is going to be a killer for 4, so it looks like you have it.
Yeah, and that's the biggest thing, especially in these non-con. You really want just people that can run and move and twist the hips a little bit. So,
all right. Well, I like the way your team looks thus far. We'll see what happens. I believe Mike Wallace is back on the clock. Interesting pool of players left. I think there's a couple people who could make some people miss here. We'll have to wait and see what happens. You know, to Cherry's point with the 4s and 5s, I mean, this is where you're not seeing your linemen kind of go, your traditional linemen go in the first couple rounds because you kind of want speed. You need speed. So we'll see. Mike Wallace is up, and we'll see where he goes.
All right. And Mike Wallace's pick is in, and he's going with Jonathan Prasad.
All right. Chris is back on the clock. Chris has 2 good picks here. We'll see where his third goes. Says he doesn't know if he's going to play quarterback. I don't know if I believe it, but we'll have to wait and see. Okay.
All right. Chris's pick is in, and he's going to go with Lay. I can't pronounce Lay's last name, but he's a beast.
If you want to, I can't really see it. Say Dalavong.
Yeah, I was going to chew it up.
Maybe. I might be wrong. I apologize. I don't like to butcher people's last names, but maybe I'm wrong there. We'll have to wait and see. Chris, I have a question for you. Explain the pick. Why? What does Lay do for you here?
Lay is all about speed. He is very versatile as well. So from a rusher, from a slot receiver, from a corner aspect. He's a speed demon. So, and he's been a speed demon as long as I've known him. So it'll be fun to see what he can do in some of these non-contact formats.
All right. Thank you very much. Jack, you are on the clock. All right. Jack's pick is in.
And Jack has selected Reedon Harris.
All right. Jack's building a squad here. I dig the pick. We'll have to wait and see. Again, my guess is Russo plays quarterback, but we'll have to wait and see. Rome is on the clock. Rome's got some burners as well. Interesting to see where he goes here. I see some people I would snag, obviously, considering what he has already. I'm going to guess before he puts it in the chat. I'm going to say he goes. I'll go. I want to say Charles, but I'll go KB. We'll see what happens. Ray, if you had to, well, there it is. Never mind. Well, I got it right. All right.
Yep. All right. So Rome has selected Kevon Bonner.
Rome, why were me and you on the same wavelength there? What did you see with your team that you wanted to add KB here?
Well, I think people sleep on KB. I think that he's more versatile than people give him credit for. So
I agree.
Trying to give him the chance to show it.
What was that?
He wants to play receiver.
Yeah, I want to give him the chance to show it. So
I got it, Cherry, but I had to blow past it. All right, Rome. Thank you very much.
David Sell, you're on the clock.
All right, Raymond. The pick is in, but what do you think Sell needs? You know, if you're not looking at his pick, what would you say Sell needs?
You know, I think he's right where he needs to be. It's not a bad pick. It's a solid one, and I'm just going to come out and say it. He went with Andrew Diesel. You need a quarterback. He's got Kwame. He's got Saylor at the center, clearly. So he's building himself up. I think he's got a solidified squad to handle the fours. And I think his next move is to start looking at getting some bodies to start working on the fives.
Sell, I really like this pick. I like Andrew a lot. I think he's not so much underrated anymore, but I think what this does is potentially takes a quarterback away from somebody, because I think everybody thought you were probably going to play quarterbacks. I really like the pick here. You want to explain why?
Yeah, I think in 4s and 5s you kind of need two people to throw the ball. He goes down or something, but I played with him in the the last session. He couldn't make playoffs, unfortunately, but I don't think we lost a game. We were playing pretty good. So we got some chemistry there. We got some vets with Kwame and Brandon, and see how the rest of it shakes out.
I think you'll be all right. All right, Jimmy Perriman is on the board.
And the pick is in, and Jimmy selected Demetrius Nelson.
All right, Jimmy, you went 2 defensive minds, including yourself. I'll go 3. Why Mr. Nelson here?
I've been playing with him out at Thursday League, and he's been tearing it up. He's a good kid, so he's got a lot of potential.
All right.
Very underrated. Very underrated.
And where's he going to play?
Probably wide receiver corner.
Okay. All right. Thank you very much. Tristan, we are back to you. Thank God you waited this time.
Didn't give it away. And Tristan's pick is in to close out the end of the 3rd round with Josh Back.
All right. Tristan, why Josh?
I think he's very underrated. He's just solid and consistent. I think he runs great routes, has good hands. You know, he's just a football player, and I love watching him play. I love being on his team.
The last draft league we won, Josh was the captain, and Josh is to your point, a very, very good football player. He doesn't talk a lot of shit. He just goes out and plays, and he's good at what he does. So I agree. Good center, in my opinion.
Yeah, absolutely.
All right. Tristan, I believe you're back up, and I think Ray's going to do something real quick.
Yep, we're going to go ahead and do our second pick of the 4 on the 4th. Again, these are for individuals who registered before July 6th deadline as our promo, and this will get you free registration into our fall or winter league for either Blaine or West St. Paul Dome, and we'll see who gets that free registration. And it looks like Alec Steers is the winner. So, Alec, we'll get you a promo code for that future future league registration. Thank you for signing up for Build the Beast.
There you go. 2 people getting free entry into a league, which will be interesting. I bet you people will be trying to clamor to get them on their roster, so it helps offset a cost. You're smart, at least.
Watch somebody pick up all 4 guys.
Yeah, right.
Rabbit.
All right. All right, Tristan's pick is in. We are going to go to that one. Raymond, go right ahead and announce.
And the pick is Torrey Bailey.
All right. Tristan, real quick, why? I don't know if I'm familiar with.
Yeah, I just played with him in the Mayhem tournament, and man, he just came up with play after play. He was clutch defensively and offensively, and I didn't want anyone else to have him. So,
all right, that's a good reason to pick somebody.
Yeah.
To be. All right, we are back, and we are at, I believe, Jimmy, and this is again, Ray. I think 4, 5, 6, and 7 is where the money is made here in terms of this tournament. So we'll see.
All right. Interesting pick, but I think it's a solidified pick for Jimmy. Colin Lee.
All right. Why do you think it's solidified? Why don't you go ahead with this one?
I mean, that's your quarterback. I mean, Mendez can throw it around, but I think Mendez is a better corner and receiver threat for Jimmy. And, they talked about Colin on Minority Report. I seen him play at the Mayhem tournament, and he's obviously experienced with J4. Dude can throw. And so I think it's a great option. And if he's got good projection in those later rounds, this team could actually go pretty far.
All right, Jimmy, is that your quarterback?
So far.
All right. David Sell is on the clock. Interesting pool of names left here. Some notable names here too. Mr. John Harrington. We have Charles Harris. We have Trey, I believe. We have Zach. We have Nate. Getting old. It's hard for me to read here. We have Jesse. So we'll see. As Sell is getting his 4th pick in.
All right. So one seep down, the other seep to go, and Andy Seep is picked up.
All right, there we go. Sell has made his selection as Andy Seep. We're going to go to Jerome Johnson. Rome, you're on the clock.
All right, the pick is in, and this one said he just wanted to play quarterback. Be curious to see if he does, and it's Jesse Meyer.
All right, well, we'll have to wait and see if that comes to fruition. I always love when people say, "Don't draft me. This is the only position I want to play." And if I was a captain, you play wherever the hell we need you. But I hear, I know
he's Russian.
I know. All right, Rome, thank you very much. Jack, you are on the clock.
While we're waiting, want to shout out to the 28 people that are watching this live. Well, drop down to 26. I said something, but thank you for watching this live.
Never count the numbers until it's over.
Right.
That's very, it's very nice.
All right.
All right.
And the pick is in, and Jack has selected Sam McFarland.
All right. Sam McFarland is off the board. We are going to go to Chris. as Chris, it seems like he is typing. Ray, if you had to pick right now, okay, Chris's pick is in. I'll hold that thought. Go ahead.
All right, and the selection is, and it's Zach Holman.
I like Zach a lot.
He's a dog.
I think Zach can do a ton, and he just shuts up and listens, truthfully. And he's always whatever you need.
Yep.
And that's a player that I would pick on my team any day of the week. So I like the pick here, Chris. We are back to, I believe, Mike Wallace, correct?
That is correct.
Okay.
Interesting pick. I think I would have went somewhere else, but Mike went with Nate. Grandpa Nate.
Nate Galvin. Nate is a very good football player, has played for a very long time, and will absolutely body people. So Mike does like size, so this makes a lot of sense in my opinion, considering he has Ski, KT, and John. So we'll have to wait and see. I like the pick. He's going to need somebody to block for Ski, and Ski has a lot of familiarity with Nate, so I like it. Cherry is on the clock with the last pick in the 4th round, and then I have a couple things to say, and then we will get to the beginning of the 5th round.
I was wondering when this name was going to come off the board because I was like, he should have been picked a little bit earlier, but everybody's got different motivations, and Trey Griffin is now selected off the board by David Cherry.
All right, Cherry, before I get into my read here, I want to ask you a quick question. Were you surprised Trey went as late as he did here?
Oh, yeah. But he's also been gone. Last time I played with him 2 years ago, maybe. So He's been gone a while. I think the name kind of goes away. And so I think we got lucky here with him being this far down.
I would agree. I agree with both what Ray said and what you said. I thought Trey would have went very early, or at least earlier than the 4th round. So we'll have to wait and see. All right. You want to level up your game? TC Flag Football is hosting a skills clinic for youth and adults. We're bringing the fundamentals, the footwork, and the football IQ to help you dominate the field. Whether you're just getting started or fine-tuning your craft, our clinics are built to make you better. Check out the upcoming clinic on July 20th. You must be signed up at tcflagfootball.com. Again, that's tcflagfootball.com by this Friday. Spots are limited. Don't miss your chance to grow your game. All right, Cherry, you're back up. Round 5. Raymond, if you had to pick a team right now you think is going to make some noise, who would this be?
Right now, based off of what I'm seeing, oh man, there's probably three teams out there. One's kind of a given because I think he's got a bit of advantage. This is kind of mentioned on Minority Report. Mike Wallace is up there. I think Sales kind of got some sneaky picks, right combination for right now. And then I would also call out Jimmy Perryman as getting pretty sneaky as well.
Okay.
I think Cherry's close, but I think he's got a position that he needs that hasn't been filled, at least, unless he's got something up his sleeve that I don't know. And the same thing with Tristan.
Yeah, I'm going to go against the grain here because the first 2 picks, I think that both their teams are very, very good right now, Cherry and Wallace. I think Rome's got a good squad. I really do. Talking about speed and everything else like that, I really like what Rome did there with Sean and Kyle. So we'll have to wait and see. Cherry's pick is in.
This guy's a beast. Anytime that he's lined up on the defensive side of the ball, he gives me pains at quarterback. Luke Tang.
There you go. All right. Now I think we're going to start and see the rushers, linemen come off the board here because you're going to need them come 5s and 6s. So let's see.
Do you think that devalues these guys because they're picked later, or do you think it's just basically strategy of I want to get my fours guys ready to go, and then just kind of meander on into fives or best available player?
So I think it's interesting. I think rep is going to be something that's important in this one in terms of reputation. Like you got guys like Ski and Lamar and Russo and Sean and Mendez. I think the biggest thing here is the teams that beat the team that they're going to steal from. I think they're going to look at the team that they just played against, at least I would as a captain, and say, who really stood out to me that's something that I'm missing. I think that's a big piece. So obviously you could always use a Lamar, for instance. Like you obviously want to take him, but if there's something, that you're missing on your squad, and I guess a Lamar wouldn't fill, and this guy was just ripping it up, and that's why you had struggles against him, then that's maybe who I would take. I think it's a very interesting concept. And you're going to need different players come different rounds, especially to protect your quarterback. So we'll see. Mike Wallace, I believe, is on the clock.
All right. And Mike Wallace has selected John Harrington.
Well, there you go. Speaking of people who can protect and rush, John Harrington can do a little bit of both. John's normally a rusher, not really known for the offensive line position, but John can play there. John's a good friend of mine, but I really do like rushing with John, rushing with Rome, rushing with Zach, both Zachs. So it's a blast, and John will get the job done if needed to. So good pick there for Mike Wallace. Chris is on the clock. All right. I believe Chris's pick is about to be in. There you go.
Who is that?
Jamil Chili.
Said no nicknames earlier, guys.
I know, Jam. Chris, I know who you were talking about. Chris, why don't you explain the pick here with your last two picks? I kind of dig them. I've played with both of them.
Well, as you said, Zach is a dog, and I want to see what he can do with Dace on defense a little bit more, especially in some of the non-contact formats. And Jam, I've been playing travel with a little bit more, and we seem to gel pretty well overall. And so hearing some of the concepts and stuff that he can bring to the table is a good move for us.
All right. Thank you, Chris. Jack, you are back on the board.
And the pick is quickly in. He's going to pick the cash man, Charles Harris.
The cash man. I like it. All right. Charles can absolutely fly and can make some people miss. We'll have to wait and see what Jack does in terms of utilization for Charles, but I think it's a good pick here, especially in the 5th round. Some names still available here that I think could help any team, so we will see if they go. Rome is back on the board. If I had to make a guess here, I'm going to either go with Roy or Juke. We'll see.
I'm going to guess Marcus.
Okay. All right. Preston's there too. I could see that. We'll have to wait and see. There it is.
Man, if I was a gambling man. Marcus Marquez is off the board.
Rome, you want to fill me in on Marcus? Why here?
I'm not going to lie. I'm trusting somebody else's opinion of him. So,
all right. There you go. Okay.
Let's see.
Is it my opinion?
It's a good.
Oh no! I saw somebody's comment on him. He's like, he's a sleeper pick. Like, if somebody picks him, he's a sleeper pick. So I'm like, all right, if he's available, I'll grab him.
So
See,
Ray and
this
I
is-
played with him a little bit on Thursday, and he surprised us. And we've seen him have some travel teams in the past, and granted, we haven't played against them, but it'll be fun to see what he does on a bigger stage now that his name is starting to get out there a little bit.
Definitely knows the 4s and 5s, that's for sure.
So this is why it's important, gentlemen, to show up, play, and do what you need to do, because Rome didn't even know the guy and picked him just off rep and a comment, which happens a lot in this league. So show up, pay your money, and get in and build yourself a good rep. David Sell is on the clock. Ray, what does Marcus play?
When I've played with him, he's played center, but I think he can also play rusher, corner. He's pretty versatile. He's got definitely the speed and obviously knows route running. So I think he can be just about anywhere on the field if you asked him to.
All right.
Sell's pick is in, and he has went with Juke Gonzalez.
Sell, I was a little surprised that Juke was still here in the 5th round. Can fly. So it'll be interesting. I like your pick here. Jimmy is on the clock. And you want to throw, there you go, Ray. I was just going to tell you to do that. See? Oh, you got to put Marcus in there. Take him off. There you go. All right. Jimmy is on the clock. And we're going to head after Jimmy to Tristan, and then we're going to head to round 6. All right.
And the pick is in, and he selected Jake Larson.
All right. Tristan is on the clock back to back.
And the first pick is in, and it's Jeff Fredrickson.
All right. All right, T, you're back up here.
While he's getting ready to make his next pick, we're going to go ahead and make our next selection for our 4 on the 4th. This is free registration into our either fall or winter leagues. And Mr. Luke Tang, congratulations, sir. You have won free registration.
The 3 who have been picked, you should deactivate Facebook and turn your cell phones off, okay? I'm just going to let you know, because you're just going to be blown up. Obviously kidding. Don't do either of them. Go find yourself a team if you don't already have one. All right, Tristan's pick is in. Tristan, I don't know if I'm familiar with this player. If I am, forgive me. But who is Noah and why?
I looked at his Facebook profile, and he said Christ follower, and I was like, I like that. So
Okay.
I went with that. He looks like a good receiver, though, too. So looks athletic.
Okay. All right, man. I appreciate it. Got it. God is good.
Yeah.
All right. So we are headed back to Jimmy for his pick in the 6th round.
All right. And Jimmy's pick is in. I was wondering when this player was going to get picked up. I think it's a good addition. Pali.
All right. I believe I've played I think I've played against him. I might not have, but did he play in any of the draft tournaments? No?
Drew Pa is a female.
Oh, okay. I did not know that. Okay. So there you go. I could have sworn that I'd played against somebody who is named Pa, but okay. So there you go. Jimmy, why Pa here?
I heard she's a great center and we need one. So
All right.
might as well take a shot and see what we got.
There you go.
Balled out at J4. That's for sure.
Okay. Got it. My apologies for the miscommunication, but I guarantee you there's somebody who goes by that name or nickname who I played against in draft league. So good luck to Pa and Jimmy and his squad. Who is up next? Sel? Okay.
Yep.
All right.
Sal has made a selection, and it's Julio Truller. I think that's how you say his last name.
All right.
Julio, I apologize if I butcher up your last name.
Julio is off the board. We'll go to Jerome. Jerome, you are on the clock.
Rome's pick is in. Preston Burns.
Rome, I like Preston. Played with him at least once or twice. Why Preston? Why here?
He's a good guy and a good teammate. I didn't really get to play with him too much, but he was always like really good to me on the field. Always a nice guy. So I had a chance to pick him, so I was going to pick him.
There you go. Appreciate it, Rome. All right. Jack is on the clock.
And the pick is in, and it's Jerron Berry.
There you go. All right. Chris is back on the clock, and his pick will come in shortly. Ray, what do you think? Panning out how you thought it would? A little surprised? What do you think?
I think it's kind of played out what I thought it would be in some ways. I think some players have certainly fallen a little bit further along than where they needed to be, and I think some guys got picked a little early. We haven't had any like crazy reaches though. That's the one thing I'm kind of glad about is it does seem like these draft captains do have a bit of a strategy, do have a little bit of thought of this is what I want to do. This is my next step. This is where I want to go. And they're not just reaching for their buddies and pals. And it might be because they know their head's on the chopping block because if they lose, they're going to lose a guy and they're going to have to live with that decision for the duration of, 2, 3, 4 games or what have you. But so far, I think we've got some pretty good competitive balance in these teams.
I would agree. If you want to move Mr. Berry over to Jack, and then I believe Chris's pick is in.
Can you just do me a favor and show me the screen real quick about that you have for available?
Sure.
The pickings are slim.
Marcus is still on there, by the way.
Yeah, that's got to come off. There you go.
Just double checking one thing real quick here. Am I getting close to my time? I can't see shit right now.
As Chris waits to take his pick, I'll buy him a couple more minutes. Fall is coming, and so is one of our most competitive seasons yet. TC Flag Football's Fall League is now open for registration. Saturday nights under the lights at the West St. Paul Dome. 6v6, 3 tiers of competition, and a chance to be crowned champion. Early bird pricing will not last, so lock in your team or sign up as a free agent now at tcflagfootball.com. Again, just as it sounds, tcflagfootball.com. Fall football hits different. Don't get left out. Fall is my favorite season, so sign up. I know a lot of people love summer. Don't get me wrong. I love a good tan. I love the fake beaches we have here in Minnesota, the lakes and the fake sand, but fall here, I don't think there's anything like it. Truthful.
Fall's the best. I'm with you.
Yeah.
It's coming real soon, less than 90 days.
I just like having the windows open, some chili and football. NFL, it just works. All right, Chris, I bought you enough time. Make your godforsaken selection.
10 seconds, dude. 10 seconds.
Sorry. I'm going to take a flyer.
Okay. Pick is in. Logan Williams. Logan's not, I don't believe, local to here. I actually met Logan when we did the reffing of the youth tournament, and he was a ref out there. We were talking about Build the Beast. I think it was Larry that was kind of hyping it up, and him and another guy was all about it. And so Really excited about the fact that these guys are taking the leap. They're coming from Iowa, so it's not like they're just like local guys. These are guys that have heard about TC and said, I want to jump into that, and that's pretty impressive. So thank you, Logan, for registering, and Chris, thank you for taking him up as a flyer. I think he might surprise you guys. He seems smaller in size stature, but seems like he's one of those guys that could be shifty off the ground.
There you go. Got a little 411 on Mr. Logan. Mike Wallace.
The pick is in, and the pick is Roy Ritchie.
I like Roy. Good dude. Plays his heart out, and I think he could play multiple positions, so I think it's a good pick. We are back to the top with Cherry.
And the pick is in, and it is Arif Seepersod. The third Seepersod has now come off the board.
All right. As we head towards round 7, this is the last round. There are as many players as you could see right there on the board. There's going to be one left for each team. Who will be the last pick? Who will be the first pick here in the 7th round? We're going to find out as Cherry has the first pick in the last round.
As he's getting ready to make his pick, we're going to make our last pick of our four on the 4th drawing here. Again, this is for free registration into our fall or winter league. And this is either for West St. Paul or Blaine Sports Center. And it looks like, that was close because it went around the line. But it's Julio Truller, who is our 4th and final winner of our 4 on the 4th. Thank you, Julio, for, again, registering for Build the Beast. And we look forward to seeing you in our future TC flag football seasons.
There you go. All 4 men have now received their free admission, entry, whatever you want to call it, into a session here at TC Flag Football. And we are going to kick off the 7th round, and there is the pick.
And this first pick of the 7th round is Alex Steers.
There you go. Cherry, why Alec? Is this a flyer? Have you played with Alec?
I have never played with Alec. This looks like the right pick.
All right, there you go.
Well, I've played with Alec before. He's a pretty solid player. Will give you all he can at tight end. Can be used as a rusher. He's kind of a bigger body guy. Don't see him necessarily being the guy that's going to go out and wide out for you or corner, but definitely versatile to be able to be used off the line in any which way.
Ray is full of information. I have no idea who Alec is, but I appreciate it. Mike Wallace's last pick here in the 7th round. Okay. I've played with John, so is Ray. Go ahead, Ray.
All right. And the final pick for Mike Wallace is John Aperson. John is a beast. He is small in stature, but plays with big heart. Will sit there and do anything you ask him to. Will rush, will block, will do whatever you need. And great attitude, great player.
There you go. Chris is on the clock with his last pick. There are 6 players left, obviously, to fill the last positions here.
I know who he's going to go with.
All right.
If he doesn't, I'll be surprised.
I know who I'd go with, but I'll wait and see.
How predictable do I want to be now? Jeez.
Well, I'm just saying who I would take. That doesn't mean
he knows a name on this board.
I know all those names on the board, but I know who you played with.
Yeah.
There you go.
Yeah, and that's a very solidified pick for depth, and I think honestly that's a steal at this point in time.
Okay. All right. Jack is on the clock. I like Warren a lot. Another player who just will do whatever you ask of him. He could sling it a little bit, and I you know what, something happens, somebody needs something, Warren can go do it. Played with Assad. So we'll have to wait and see who Jack goes with. And Jack went with
Assad.
There you go. All right, Jack, thank you very much. Rome, you are on the clock.
All right, the pick is in, and Rome knows who's won championships in draft leagues, and it's been War Dog all the time.
There you go. Good old War Dog. All right, Warren Hess is off the board. Good dude. Think he'll do well on Rome's team. Sel is on the clock.
All right, and it looks like the pick is in, and David Sell has selected Brian Wright.
There you go. All right, 3 names remain. Now 2, so we will see who the final 2 picks are between Jimmy and Tristan. There you go.
Okay, and the pick is in, and it is Larry Darby.
All right, and Tristan by default gets LeBron James. No, we're gonna James Austin. Well, if LeBron was playing, that'd be a nice get here. All right, well that concludes our Build the Beast draft. There's a lot to unpack here. I would love to watch this in person. Unfortunately, I'll be out of the state, but I'm gonna make a prediction here. I think Cherry's got the team to beat. We'll have to wait and see what happens. So
that sounds right.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah, that's what I would guess too. That's a great prediction.
I got one thing to say.
Go ahead.
You don't
DC,
have to.
You're a clown. Honka honka. Clown. You have bad takes all the time. Love you.
Is he Skip Bayless?
Dude, it's gotten worse.
It's worse. Okay. All right. Ray, captains, I'd like to thank everybody for doing this. Ray, thanks for putting this whole stream together. I'm going to let the man who put this all together in terms of Brainchild come back in here, kind of give his opinions, his takes on what he thinks. Obviously, he's playing with Cherry. I think Cherry's team is the team to beat. I'm going to go with the sleeper pick of Jerome Johnson's team. Wallace got a good team. We'll have to wait and see what happens, but I'm going to go with Cherry. Good luck to everybody involved. Everybody stay safe. I'll catch you guys down the road.
Have a good one.
Thanks, Drew. All right, so we're gonna add Lamar into here, and we got a couple of things that are going to be going on here still for the draft captains. We still need to do a picking of the schedule here. Do I have everybody here? Okay, I've got somebody loud. Who is that?
That was Lamar's loud ass family over there.
All right, so here we go. This is, again, something new that we're having to do, and we'll go into this, and then we'll have a little bit of commentary with Lamar at the closeout of this. So give me 1 second as I'm trying to adjust here. All right, there we go. All right, so we've got the 8-team double elimination bracket that's on here. And what we're basically going to do is going to pick our spots out of the game. So you got 1 through 8. That's on the very top left-hand side there. And that's going to be your pick of matchups. And we're going to go in reverse order of how team captains signed up. So in the order of which this occurred, Jack Chase was the last draft captain to sign up as a captain, then Jerome, then Tristan, then Jimmy, then David Sell, then David Cherry, then Mike Wallace, then Chris. So Chris has got the number 1 pick in the schedule. So Jack, where would you like to land in the 1 through 8 spots?
I would like to be on field 2.
Field 2. All right. So we're going to put you, let's go spot number 3.
Sounds good.
Okay. So the next person up is Jerome.
I don't know. Spot 2.
Spot 2.
Yeah.
All right. So Jerome's going to go on field 1, spot 2. All right. Tristan.
6.
2, 3. 2, 3. Okay, so he's going to be on field 3. All right. Next one up is Jimmy.
7.
Okay, so Jimmy's on field 4. Let's go Sell.
I'll go 5.
Okay, so Sell is going to play against Tristan first. That's the way it looks right now. Cherry.
Should we be seeing something right now?
Sorry, I didn't get this set up where I can type this in here on this, so it's just more of the visual of which field is which. If you got a question as to who's on which or which matchup you want to be, I can help you out with that.
Yeah, who's where right now?
Okay, so you've got Jerome on field 1, seed 2, Jack on field 2, seed 3. On field 3, you've got Sil versus Tristan. And then on the 4th field, you got Jimmy by himself at the 7 spot.
We'll play Jack's team.
Jack's team. Okay. So we're going to go into that 4 spot with Cherry. All right. The next one is Mike Wallace. Mike's going to take the 1 spot. Did I hear that right?
No.
I'm sorry, Mike. Say that again. Mike, I'm sorry, I can't hear you. Can you type in the chat? All right. Well, Mike's doing that. Just again, this is one of those reminders that as we're selecting this, teams could pick into spots that would kick another team and knock them out. So if you're looking at a matchup there, you can certainly do that.
Hey, Rick.
All right. I can't hear Mike at all on this. What field is Sell on? Sell is on field 3, spot 5, playing against Tristan. If you want that spot, you can kick Sell, or you can kick Tristan. You pick 6. So he's going to kick Tristan and play Sell. Tristan, you can pick the 1 spot or the 8 spot. The 1 spot plays Jerome, or the 8 spot plays Jimmy. Oh, I'm sorry. Hang on. So it looks like, okay. Mike Wallace is going to go in the 8 spot. Sorry. So Chris, you can take the 1 spot that's open, or you can kick somebody.
Who would the 1 spot play right now?
Jerome.
I think I want to play Tristan.
Okay, so it's going to kick Sel. Sel's going to play Jerome, and Chris is going to play Tristan. All right. So we'll get that all written out. Sorry for everybody who's watching this, like, what the hell? But we'll get this straightened out for future reference. In the meantime, go ahead and bring Lamar back into the mix here. And how do you think this went? Did this go about as you predicted, or?
I don't know. There was a few guys that got picked earlier than I had on my sheet. But then there were also guys who got picked a hell of a lot later. Personally, I feel like Trey Griffin was one of the steals of the draft. He dropped way too far. So shout out to Cherry for snagging him when he did. But I like the way it panned out. I like the whole idea that we had of allowing these guys to pick their first round games too. I think that adds a little bit of strategy to it. I think every team's got somebody on their radar that they want to steal already. So that just adds a whole other aspect to the game. So I'm excited for this. I think this is it's going to be one we have to traditionally do moving forward.
Yeah, I think we're going to definitely build the beast back sooner than people will expect. Maybe in August, maybe teams register a team and do it that way as opposed to individual. What do you think about that?
Teams would be pretty crazy too. I mean, you'd get a couple of the powerhouse teams that have to break up. That's, 2 or 3 teams just made out of one team in that aspect right there. So, yeah, I'm excited for it. Ready to see how it goes this weekend. And I think we need to come up with something cool though, as to like how we announce the player that's stolen. Like, I think maybe the captain should step away for a second. One captain tells the other captain, hey, this is who I'm taking. And that captain has to go tell that player, hey, you've been taken, rather than just yelling across the field, yo, so-and-so, you with us now.
No Red Rover.
Right.
So of the teams that have obviously been drafted, who you got your bets in favor to? And obviously you could say, well, David Cherry, because you're on it, but in all honesty, who do you think has probably got a good matchup of players that's going to be fit for this type of tournament?
Yeah, I was looking at him as we were talking about it with Cherry. Obviously, I think our team I was in the chat with them, helping them build it, so I think that's the team to beat. As far as starting with 4s though, I think Jimmy's team looks pretty solid to start with 4s. I think Sel's team looks really solid to start with 4s as well. There's a couple teams that look like they're definitely going to be better at contact. So if they can keep that core group the first couple rounds and make it there, they'll be solid. Like Mike's team is looking like a really solid contact team. But yeah, I'd probably give the edge right now to Sel or Jimmy to have the better non-contact team.
So definitely some opportunities for some upsets up front. Do you think there's any opportunity that a team, because this is double elimination, so once you fall out that top tier bracket, it's a dogfight to stay in it. Do you think there's any team that's going to fall out first and is going to be that dog that doesn't go away?
I can see really any of the teams. Just looking at the picks, first and second round is pretty much stacked across the board. Yeah, there's a few of these teams where if we were to beat them, I don't even know which player we would take, because Tristan's got some great options that we could steal. Jimmy's got some great options. Sel has great, really every team has multiple options of players that you could take. So I can see, any of these teams falling down and making their way back up and just picking up studs along the way.
Okay, so here's a question. You mentioned Jimmy's pretty well solidified for the 4-on-4. His first matchup is Mike Wallace. Does Jimmy still DJ right out the bat if they come out with that dub?
That's going to be a battle. I like Jimmy's team for the non-contact because Mendez is going to be a huge piece in the non-contact formats. He just knows his stuff when it comes to 4s, 5s, non-contact. He's obviously a great contact player too, but Mendez is one of the smarter players in this league. And he just knows plays. He knows how to put players in positions to win. But Mike also has Ski, and you can never count Ski out. And if Ski gets to moving around and he's able to be mobile, I don't know that there's many players on Jimmy's team that can keep up with Ski. So that'll definitely be one to look out for. Yeah, if we're not playing at the same time, I might actually watch that game because that's going to be a battle for sure.
All right. Well, I think there's definitely going to be some conversations to be had. I know Minority Report's probably going to jump in this before the tournament and have their say about who did what and who is the sleeper picks and where they think the teams are going to land or what have you. We may have some other teaser stuff leading up to the draft. Speaking of the draft, this is an early one. We start at 9 a.m. on Saturday. We're expected to run until about 2 p.m. I've been asked here to just go through the opening round matchups one more time here. So on field 1, we've got David Sale's team versus Jerome. And then in the second field, we've got Jack against Cherry. And then on the third field, we've got Chris versus Tristan. And the fourth field, we've got Jimmy versus Mike Wallace. So again, we start promptly at 9 a.m. That doesn't mean show up at 9 a.m. That means games start at 9 a.m. And we'll get to proceeding. Again, we went through the rules. A lot of it's going to be the out-of-town rules, so get versed up on that. Some of those guys who are thinking, we're just going to run like 6s TC or whatever, not quite the same. This has definitely been geared for more out-of-town play. A lot of people have came back to me saying, hey, we want that smoke. We want the bull rush. We want the contact in the contact game, but we also want the non-contact stuff as well. So there's plenty of opportunity to play in all these formats. Get yourself versed into those rules. If you have any questions, certainly reach out to TC. We'll answer those questions. You got Lamar, you got me, you've got Drew and obviously Jack and John, all available to answer your questions. If there's anything about, hey, how does this work with these formats, or what can I do, what can I not do, or what have you. Obviously there are some rules that are not going to be completely out of town. Or we made them consistent across the board, and that's because we want to make our lives easier for our officials too. So I really would appreciate if everybody's got some flexibility going into this weekend, understanding that, and make it a fun event. Let's have fun. Let's make it a community event, and obviously we're going to be rooting for individual players and teams throughout the whole thing. So looking forward to the competition. Last but not least, again, this league, these tournaments don't happen without you guys signing up. We've got to have plenty of things going on. We've got league registrations. We've got clinics and camps going on. We're going to have another tournament. Larry's got a tournament that's going on. Sign up for this stuff, because if you don't sign up, all it does is discourages the organizers from wanting to put it on in the future state. So if you want to keep this stuff going on, don't wait until last minute. Lamar, I got to give you mad props for the hustle that you did over the last 48 hours and reaching out to people in their DMs. And but it shouldn't be that way. It should be guys are proactively, looking up and seeing what's going on. We present this stuff. We post it all the time. Make sure you sign up. That's all I've got. Thank you again for everyone who signed up, and we'll see everybody on Saturday. Peace out.
Have a good one, everyone.